I wish I had an explanation for the popularity of the man I'm about to introduce, but a gift such as his apparently cannot really be explained, but it can be felt and enjoyed. So why don't we just do that? Let's do it for him, gang. JC Caceres for BoxeoMundial.com. I'm bringing you the UFC 155 picks. Usually we'd go ahead and do a write-up, but we're doing a video this time, and I hope everybody goes ahead and checks it out. See if you agree. If you don't, hit us up on Twitter at BoxeoMundial and let us know what you think and what your picks are for the night. First part of the card is going to be the Facebook prelims. We start off with a couple of 125 pounders. It's Chris Carrasco versus John Moraga. I'm going to go with John Moraga here. I like what he did in his impressive debut in the UFC versus Ulysses Gomez, and I expect him to go ahead and take the W here. I'm looking for about a second round knockout. Second fight is a couple of 145 pounders. We've got Leonard Garcia versus Max Holloway. Looks like this may be Leonard Garcia's last fight if he can't pull off a W. Max Holloway is definitely a fighter on the rise. I like Max Holloway here. He's a really good striker, and he's definitely turned it around. I'm going with Max Holloway here by decision. I think Leonard will hang on and see the end of the fight, but I'm definitely going with Max Holloway. Last fight of the Facebook part of the prelims is a couple of heavyweights, Phil DeFries versus Todd Duffy. I'm going to go with Todd Duffy here. I like what the work he's been doing over at AKA, and I think it's going to show in his return to the UFC. Next portion of the card is going to be the prelims on FX. First fight of that part is going to be Miles Jury, 155 pounders versus Michael Johnson. I'm going with Johnson here. I like him in maybe second round stoppage, a little ground and pound. So my pick here is definitely going to be Michael Johnson. I'm sticking with him over Jury. Next fight is Melvin Gilliard versus Jamie Varner, another good lightweight fight. This fight was supposed to take place a couple of weeks ago. Jamie Varner looked like he was sick. Unfortunately, the fight was postponed, but it's taking place now. Really tough fight, but I'm going to go with Jamie Varner. I think he's going to go ahead and he's going to be the more, use the game plan, stick to his game plan, and stay out of exchanges with Gilliard and win a decision, or maybe actually stop Gilliard, maybe third round stoppage. I'm going to go with Jamie Varner here. Next fight is Byron Bloodworth versus Eric Perez. I really like Goito Perez here. He's a really exciting fighter at 135 pounds. I like what he's done in his two fights since being in the UFC, and I expect him to go ahead and give us another explosive knockout. I'm going with Perez by a second round knockout. Last fight of the prelims on FX is going to be a fight between a couple of 135 pounders, Brad Pickett versus Eddie Wineland. There may be a title shot looming for the winner. Brad Pickett certainly, got the momentum going into this fight. Wineland's not looked bad since coming over from the WC. But I like Pickett and his punching power, and I'm going to pick him by a second round knockout. I'm going with Brad Pickett. Main card on pay-per-view. First fight of that card is going to be Alan Belcher versus Yushin Okami. I'm going to go ahead and pick Alan Belcher here. This is a rematch. I remember covering this card years ago when they first debuted in the UFC. And since then, I like what Alan Belcher's done with his grappling, and he's added it to his striking game. And he definitely seems to have a lot of momentum and is getting close to a title shot. I'm going with Alan Belcher here, three-round decision, and pull out the W. Next pair of middleweights on the card is going to be Tim Bosch versus Konstantinos Philippou. I really like where Bosch is going, piling up the wins. Since defeating Yoshin Okami, he's also defeated Hector Lombard in his UFC debut, and I think he's got the wrestling pedigree to dominate Philippou in the clinch, and his heavy hands will keep him honest. I like Tim Bosch to win the decision here. Other fight on this main card is Chris Lieben
versus UFC newcomer Derek Brunson. Brunson stepping in on late notice, but I really like leaving here. I think his mind is right, and I expect him to get back to being the crippler of old and scoring a impressive knockout. So I'm going to go with Chris Lieben here by second round knockout. Next fight on the main card is going to be Joe Lauzon versus Jim Miller. A couple of lightweights. Very, very tough fight, close fight. I do like Joe Lauzon in this fight. Miller's a very, very tough fighter, and he's only lost, you know, the Nate Diaz fight, but he's back and he's definitely going ahead and trying to get back on the winning track. But I like Joe Lauzon's height and his boxing and his jiu-jitsu to go ahead and pull out a decision. I also like his aggressiveness, and he always goes for a finish. So I'm gonna go with Joe Lauzon and a decision in that fight. Main event: Junior Dos Santos versus Cain Velasquez. This is a rematch of the first UFC on Fox card. Cain Velasquez trying to regain his heavyweight title. Junior Dos Santos, trying to go ahead and defend the belt against the man he took the belt from. I like Junior Dos Santos' hands. I think Cain Velasquez is definitely healthy coming into this fight, and it's going to be a better performance from him. But Junior Dos Santos has heavy hands, good boxing ability. No one's shown the ability to take him down and keep him down. We've yet to see what he's got on his ground game, but when you've got striking the way Junior Dos Santos does, you're going to have to go ahead and have a chin like Roy Nelson to go ahead and be able to take some of the shots he lands. And I can't see Cain Velasquez, absorbing too much punishment before he eventually gets knocked out. Like I said, I think Cain Velasquez is going to come, better shape, healthy, but at the end of the night, I expect Junior Dos Santos to hold on to the belt, and I'm going to pick him by, I'm going to say maybe a third round knockout for Junior Dos Santos in the main event. Well, those are our UFC 155 picks. Like I said, if you agree with them, if you disagree, let us know what you think. You can follow us on Twitter at BoxeoMundial, and let us know what you think, what your opinions are, and we'll see how many of the fights we got right after the card's over. Talk to you guys soon.
This my type of party.